Hey guys, Nedi here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to day 3 and the final day of 3 days of Bujo. It's finally here, the last day of 3 days of Bujo. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. If you're just joining in right now, I have 2 other videos, my 2020 bullet journal flip through and my 2021 bullet journal setup already posted. That's day 1 and day 2 of 3 days of Bujo. So if you haven't watched that yet, I think maybe you should go check it out before you watch this video, because this video is my January 2021 bullet journal plan with me setup. I hope you guys have enjoyed 3 days of Bujo so far. It's kind of bittersweet that it's coming to an end, and also I make sure that I'm posting this the day before New Year's, so basically New Year's Eve. So I just want to take my time to wish you guys a happy new year. I know 2020 has been a lot for all of us in different ways. It's been really hard and tough on the world, but I just want to let you guys know that I'm here sending my love to you wherever you are around the world. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing great, and I hope that you have an amazing new year, and I hope that 2021 is going to be better for all of us. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little 3 days bundle I prepared for you guys. Think of it like a end of the year present from me to you, and I hope it put a smile on your face this holiday period. If you guys are excited for this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos I have, which will obviously be in 2021 from now. But whew, okay, so let's just get into the video.
For my January theme, I decided to go with Roman statues. Now, don't ask me why I decided to go with this theme. I woke up one morning and the first thing that came to my head when I was thinking of themes was Roman statues. And I was kind of like, well, that isn't the best theme for the new year. I wanted something more festive, or maybe something that would be more motivational to start the year. And I thought of so many different things, but honestly, I wasn't just feeling any of them. And each time I pictured my January monthly setup, I just kept on seeing this beautiful statues and this Roman-esque roses and vines, and a point came when I just had to accept it that this was going to be my January theme, because I put off doing this theme for so long. I needed to be certain that when I go into this, I was going to come out with a theme that I actually liked. So I put it off for so long, and then the time just came. I just had to accept that, yeah, this is going to be my theme. That was all I was seeing, just these statues that were broken but also beautiful, and then had roses and vines growing on them, but yet still seemed so beautiful, even though they looked like they had been broken for years. It just kind of spoke to me on a different level than any other theme that was coming in mind at that point. So the first thing I decided to do was gather reference of statues, because I don't draw statues. I've never really drawn a statue before. I just knew that I didn't want it to look realistic. I just wanted it to be able to give that essence of a statue, that when you look at it, you can easily tell from a glance that, oh, this is meant to be a statue that is broken, or you get the idea. So I wasn't going for anything realistic at all. The technique I used for creating this is fairly simple. I actually used my Faber-Castell watercolor pencils. So basically they can actually dilute when you go over it with water. But I kind of use it in a different way. I would color it in, then go over it with water sometimes, or I would just dab my paintbrush directly on the pencil and then go over it with paint. And that's because I'm just very lazy to actually bring out my watercolors and start mixing watercolors. I also just wanted to try experimenting to see if to see how well this Amanda Richley dotted notebook can actually hold on to watercolor. Before doing this, I did a sample test and it worked fairly well. So I decided to actually try to just make this fully watercolor. So I don't use any Crayola super tips, no markers. I only use my watercolor pencils, my fine liners, and my water brush pen to do this whole illustration. Oh, and I also use a red Prismacolor colorways pencil just to give a little bit more color to the places that weren't bright red enough, because I didn't want to keep going over it with water, because I didn't want the paper to warp. Some of the pages, the paper did warp a bit, but it wasn't that bad, I guess. So yeah, I didn't really talk much about the quote page. I did say I wanted to take out quote pages completely in 2021, but as for the moment, I still don't know what I want to put on that second half of the page. But for now, I just drew some statues more, but this time I just drew only the faces. And then at the top, I wrote, "You are the sculptor of your future," which I found online, and I felt like it was really fitting for going into the new year to remind us that at the end of the day, we have our life in our hands and we should sculpt it in the way we want it to become. Moving on to my calendar spread, and I think I let my creative juices overflow in this spread. I decided to make the calendar in shapes of these Roman pillars. Roman pillars. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but when I'm done, you'd see it. So I basically just made them look like they were pillars standing, and then inside we have the blocks for the calendars, and I thought that was really fun. I felt like it would add something different from all the human-esque statues I've been drawing since, just to give it kind of a balance. Plus, I thought it would be a very cool idea, and I actually really love the way it came out. So yeah, I drew the pillars, and then at the top left, I drew a statue that kind of looks like it was, the top part of its head has been broken off. Then I wrote in January at the top, and then I added vines and more roses just to give that whole pop of color to the spread, and that's basically about it. When I was going into creating the theme, I was a little bit scared that it won't be nice, or it wouldn't come out how I pictured it. But what I tried to do is to make it as simple as possible and just let the drawings carry the whole composition of the spread. So I let the drawings be look as nice as possible, and then try to do things around it to not carry the drawing, but to just help it read more and look more elegant and look more poetic enough. I had a vision that it was kind of 2020 had left all of us broken, and we're trying to enter this new year, and we are trying to grow from that, and the roses represent that new life that we're going to experience, just coming into the new year and becoming a new person, even though we are broken and we've gone through a lot of stress and a lot of things that left us down and left us shattered, but we still found a way to grow something new and something beautiful at the same time. So yeah, I kind of ended up making the theme New Year related and motivational in a way, but I think it was a very nice balance from the over the top exaggerated Happy New Year theme I initially wanted to go for. That didn't just sit right with me. I know the entire setup might look a bit hard, but trust me, it's not at all. It's really simple. The difference is I used watercolors instead of markers, and the major reason why I did this is because I didn't want it to have this really harsh, solid look that markers have. I wanted it to kind of look soft and very light, and I don't have the brush markers, the tumble brush markers. I think they are more soft, but the Crayola tips, for example, they are water based, so it kind of leaves a streaky mark, which normally I would enjoy because it makes it look more artistic, but for this spread I didn't want that at all. And I didn't have any zebra mouth liners or any of those softer kind of markers. I only have Crayola tips and alcohol based markers that clearly bleed, so I don't even use those in my journal. So the only other option was watercolors, and I think the watercolors were actually the best solution, because if not, the spread would have kind of looked a little bit too harsh in comparison to what I actually wanted it to look like. After outlining it with my fine liner, I just went in and wrote goals, tasks, and January at the top. Then I kind of missed the beats right now around this time. I decided to add in the dates, and then for some reason I was like, you know what, since this is a Roman themed spread, let me, instead of writing the dates the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, I should write them in Roman numerals. And I kind of forgot and just made really minor mistakes, but I fixed that. Another issue I found was that I kind of made the roses to put the numbers on quite small, because meant to just be 2-digit numbers, but the Roman numerals, I was going to write up to 30, 31, right? And then the Roman numerals can go up all the way to 4 characters, which is way too big for the tiny roses that I initially placed there. and it kind of looks weirdly off now, but it's fine, I guess. My next spread is my habit trackers, and I did the same thing. I just drew a statue there. Like I said, all the statues I didn't draw them from my head. I actually had reference. I just kind of simplified the shadow shapes and made it a little bit more stylized. And yeah, I drew a statue, and I kind of drew it like it was on top this brick like block, and then in the block I kind of drew the shape out for the habits, and then I colored the entire block in. So I kind of like how it looks. It's kind of different from my usual just placing the different boxes for the habit trackers and writing their names down. It gives me my September 2020 habit tracker vibes because I kind of did something different. By the way, if you guys haven't watched day 2 and day 1 of 3 days of Bujo, please do watch them. I posted them yesterday and the day before. It's my flip through and my 2021 setup, so I'll link those in the descriptions. Do check it out, please. And yeah, after that I just outlined everything, wrote in the numbers and added the vines and roses, and that's basically my habit tracker. The next page is my bills tracker, and I just drew one of those pillars again and divided the page into how I usually track my bills and everything. It's a very simple spread, but again, the bills tracker is a functional spread, so doing a lot on it isn't going to really help the functionality at all. So I just had to make it look cute and fit in with the rest of the theme, and that's basically that. My next page is my content planner, and for this one I actually really love the way it came out. I saw this statue that was like from head to toe, and I thought it would be nice to actually draw one full length statue, and I decided to do that on this page so I could scale it down and not have to draw it like in full length basically. And I drew it on top of another block, and then inside I drew a YouTube logo, and I kind of made it look like it's like made out of ceramic, the same materials with the rest of the statues, so it kind of looks like it's a statue itself, but looking at it, it kind of looks like a silver plate. So hopefully this is like good vibes for 2021. I don't know, I'm just saying, it just kind of looks like a silver play button, just saying that. But yeah, I wrote content plan at the top of the page and wrote down the numbers. And for the next page, which is my monthly review, I decided to go with this statue of a lady she looked like maybe she could be writing poetry in her book. She looked so like, what's the word? Relaxed, but also like moody. And it just kind of gave me this very poetic vibe. And it kind of reminds me of myself when I'm writing out my monthly reviews. I'm kind of in this state of mind where I'm just reminiscing and looking back at stuff, and it just kind of reminded me of myself, and I thought it would be very fitting for this page. So yeah, that is my monthly review page and my content planner. My next page is my brain dump. We are almost at the end, and you guys know that my brain dump is one of my best spreads. It's like the most functional spread in my journal, and I use it the most each month. So I always try to give myself enough space. I just try to decorate it in a decent way that it matches the theme and doesn't look out of place, but I still have to make sure it's not too much so that it can be as functional as possible. So for this spread, I just basically drew this kind of Roman, I don't know what it's called, but like they're like Roman arches, yeah. And I just wrote brain up on the top, added some vines around the side and roses, and that's basically it for my brain dump spread. And now we have gotten to the final spread of the month. It is my weekly spread, the first weekly spread for January, which I'm really excited for. And I actually really love the way this spread turned out. I basically just drew two statues by the side, one being male and the other being female, and they're kind of looking at each other. I actually saw this, it was referenced again, not my idea, but I love the way it turned out. And I kind of have this format where in my weeklies I draw a section for the tasks and events I have that week and the tasks and events I have for the next week. So it was very fitting. I just used one of the statues to like draw a box under for that week and the other box for the next week, if you get what I mean. And then I just used this horizontal layout, which I absolutely love, and that's basically it. If my voice kind of sounds different, I'm just kind of like in a mood today. I don't know why. I've tried to be more jumpy and like talk a little bit more how I usually do, but I'm just in a really calm state right now and I can't get myself out of it. So I decided to just, go with the flow and just kind of sound more relaxing. I hope that doesn't bother you guys too much, but yeah, that's just the reason. And yeah, that's basically it. Now it's time for a flip through. And I just want to take my time again, like I said in the intro, to wish you guys a happy new year. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you enjoyed 3 days of Bujo in general. It's been 3 really long days for me over here, but I really enjoyed creating all this content for you guys. And I can't wait to see you back in 2021 for more content and just more love, more joy, and yeah, all that fun stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and hit that bell icon so in 2021 you don't miss out on all the fun stuff I have planned for you. Okay then, see you at the next one.